What's up, guys? It's AJ and
Colin.
yeah, woo! This is episode 10 of our horrific podcast, and I can't believe we have done this for 10 episodes. I mean,
Has it really been 10
this is the
already?
10th episode, yeah.
Wow.
So that's
That's
like
incredible.
that's like 10 hours we've been doing this because each episode is around an hour. That's insane.
Wow.
Jesus, see that quick math?
That was very quick math,
Yeah, yeah.
AJ.
And then get an A in trig for no reason. So today we just have a basic episode. I was gonna plan something special for the 10th episode, but then I realized, what the fuck are we gonna do special? I mean, there's nothing really, anything we can do. So
We can walk around, do some things, say some stuff. That's pretty much what we always do.
yes, and the host has left the recording studio. I don't know what.
I'm right here. What are you talking about?
All right, I get he has vanished. It must be. All right, so how have you been, Colin?
I'm doing horrible, but, life is life.
Yeah. Life is life. Na 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 na. You know that song?
No, I don't.
I don't really know it either. I just know the chorus. I don't know who sings it at all.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's a song, but anyway. So, have you been watching any good cinema lately, Colin? Anything new, exciting?
I have, the classes. Been watching Top Gun, great movie. First time I saw it, I think it was like a month or two ago. But really great movie. Don't quite understand the story, honestly. I think the big capture is the plane scenes,
Hmm.
but really good otherwise.
Yeah. I don't
Also,
think I've. I don't.
great music.
Sorry. Forgive me for cutting you off. What did you say?
It's a great music.
Okay. Well, I gotta watch it too. All I know is it has a great soundtrack. But besides that, I don't know much about it. I know Tom Cruise is in it and he flies airplanes around. That's about it.
Yeah.
So you also watched Inglorious Bastards recently. Give me your full opinion on that. What did you think of it?
Bunch of Nazis died. That was pretty
Yeah.
good. And it's got Brad Pitt in it. I don't know what more you need in a movie.
You know, here's the thing. I tried watching it, and there was no particular reason I didn't like it, or the storyline just didn't grasp me at all. It just, it felt like, I mean, the Nazis dying that was really cool. I love Brad Pitt, man. Like, anything he's in, I'd at least try to watch. But I didn't even finish the movie. I might go back and rewatch it, just to see, what I'm missing out on, if I'm missing out on anything. But the storyline just didn't grab me the first time. But I don't know. That was just
Mm-hmm.
my opinion.
You know what I always say? Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, I'm the one who said that, but okay. Thanks for stealing. Okay, Amy Schumer.
You said it one time.
All right.
And we
So
don't speak it. We don't speak of that name on here.
yeah, my fault. My fault. Um. So, Colin, is there any Lego stuff you'd like to talk about?
Not really. Nothing. I mean, there's a few idea sets coming out. I think I just recently saw that there's a Goonies set that they're in production of. Well, they haven't designed it yet because the way Lego Ideas works is, fans submit their own creations, and then over the course of a few months, they compete with each other and see who gets enough supporters, and then what gets approved, and then it goes into the actual creation process for Lego. They have to make their own version of it. So it's still in very early development and most likely won't be revealed for another 2 or 3 years. But I'm very excited. Goonies is one of my favorite movies from my childhood. I've always watched it a lot. I'd say I watched a lot of the classic movies when I was a kid. My parents had the DVDs for Goonies, Back to the Future, Girls Gone Wild, all the classics really.
Yeah, I love the Goonies. I've been compared physically to Sloth before, not muscle wise, but face wise. I've been told I look like Sloth.
I would say you're more mentally appropriate for Sloth. Physically, yeah, but definitely mentally.
Well, yeah, whichever one, maybe both. Yeah, I definitely have better hair than him, though. So that's something I do have over Sloth. But I love The Goonies. It's a great movie, classic. Trying to think about Back to the Future you mentioned. I want to rewatch that. The first time I watched that, my girlfriend came over, and I was like, "Well, I want to watch this movie," and she was like, "I don't," and I was like, "Well, I mean, I kind of want to watch it because I've been putting it off for so long." And she kept trying to turn it off. Like, she took the remote at one point and kept pausing it mid movie to annoy me, so I had to get it back. She constantly was trying to distract me and making annoying comments, but it's all right. I
Now I
still
see why now I see why you asked me to hide a body this weekend. I understand.
we weren't supposed to talk about that on the podcast, but
Oh,
anyway,
that's fine.
yeah. But I still enjoyed it. I thought it was an excellent movie. I love time travel concepts. I don't know, like I said this to you, but I think that might have pushed like the time travel narrative mainstream for a lot of concepts. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know what other
Back,
storylines.
Back
Huh?
to the Future, from what I remember, was one of the first, at least popular, time travel stories.
Yeah.
And what I've actually seen is a lot of people think that it isn't even a time travel movie. It's just a device used to accelerate the plot, which focuses on Marty, focuses on the doc, focuses on George, his father. It focuses more on the characters. The time travel aspect is simply a way for those characters to interact with each other. Marty going back in time to see his father when he was in high school.
His father
And
was
I really
really
like that
pissing me off
concept.
though, man. He was annoying. His young father, like
Mm.
he was just so like I don't know. He just kind of and his haircut was awful, dude. Like I don't know who his barber was, but
Well,
Jesus.
it was 1955, so things were a lot different back then.
Yeah, but I thought they had better haircuts back then. I thought that was like a common knowledge. They had like different, like cooler Elvis haircuts back then, not whatever the hell he was rocking.
Well, not everybody was Elvis. Actually, there
I
was
know
only
that,
one
but like,
king.
I wish everyone was Elvis. That'd be pretty. Well, he wasn't a bad guy, right? Elvis.
Well, he stole black music. That was like his biggest controversy, I
Okay,
think.
well, I take back what I said about wishing everyone was Elvis. Um, but yeah, overall great movie. I can't wait to watch the second one and the third one. Which would you say is
Um,
the best? Huh?
I'd say, other than the first is always, the original is always the best in my opinion. But the second one, I definitely really like. And then the third one has its own special charm because that one's when they go to the Old West. And I love that theme. Like, it's just really cool. And that one, it ties the whole movie series together. It's literally the perfect trilogy. Like, there's definitely plot holes in it. I mean, you're going to have that in movies anyway. But I think the Back to the Future series does a trilogy, probably the best that I've ever seen, and probably ever will, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but those movies were very well crafted, and I mean, the background behind it though was terrible. I mean, they had to replace Marty like after practically finishing the movie. Originally, it was Eric Stoltz playing him instead of Michael J. Fox, and they had like 90% of the movie done, and they had to not completely, they had to reshoot every single scene with Marty, and it was a pretty big disaster behind the scenes of those films.
Why'd
But
they have to
they,
reshoot it?
huh?
Why'd they have to reshoot the movie? Like, why'd they have to replace him?
So Eric Stoltz, the original casting for Marty was originally Michael J. Fox, who plays him in the movie now, or did. Um, but he had a previous engagement with another series. I think it was Family Ties at the time. But so they couldn't get him on, and so they used Eric Stoltz. He was like their second pick. He just wasn't fitting the character very well. He just wasn't acting the way they wanted him to. Like Marty was supposed to be this like not so serious kind of like doesn't really know how to move through life yet kid.
Yeah.
But Eric Stoltz was taking it to a more mature level that they just didn't want, and so it didn't work out.
Mm, okay.
So that's a little background knowledge for you of the series.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Thank you for spilling the tea on Back to the Future, Colin. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But like trilogies are an excellent thing. One of the trilogies I still want to watch is Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, I should say. I'm not sure if I'll like it. I hear a lot of good things about it, but it's just never piqued my interest at all.
Yeah,
It just seems kind of boring. Like, I don't know, and it's
they're
just
they're also very long movies. I've
yeah.
heard. Like,
Were you saying something? Oh, I thought you were still speaking.
no,
Yeah, I don't have a problem with like really long movies. I mean, I love the Titanic, and that's insanely long.
great movie.
Uh, Honestly, one of my favorite actors, Leonardo DiCaprio, great actor. He all of his movies are like over 2 hours. I feel. I don't think he's in a single movie that's under 2 hours long. I think his longest is probably Killer of the Flower Moon, the one that came out in October. Really
Wasn't
great,
it Killers?
huh?
Killers, wasn't it?
Killers,
Killers.
my bad. God, Jesus Christ.
I
Killers of
didn't
the
see the
Flower
movie.
Moon.
I don't know.
Anyway, but yeah, that was a really long
Fan,
movie. Really
honestly.
good though. What were you saying?
Nothing. I said you really love Leo so much.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. But great movie. Yeah, I recommend it. I think it's on Apple TV. I don't know if you have Apple TV.
Oh wow, yep, don't have that.
We could
So
illegally stream it.
I don't do that, and I don't condone that, AJ.
Yeah, right. I don't condone it either. I don't illegally stream. I just rent and buy. That's all I do. Because that's what I did with this movie as well.
See, when I said that, I was genuine, but with you, it's not so much.
No,
So
I
I
don't
don't
illegally
really.
stream. Like, if the FBI is watching for some reason, I don't stream anything illegally.
Nobody's watching this. It's
Yeah, no
okay.
one is, but I don't care.
Um,
So I went to
in other news,
Sorry, what'd you
I
say?
was just about to ask you, didn't you have some great adventures this weekend
Yeah, I
or
did.
last week?
This Thursday I decided to go up to New York, and I love New York. Now, obviously, I'm a tourist. So like I only go to like the touristy locations. So that's probably why I like New York. I'm not one of those people who thinks New York is the greatest place on earth. I know it has its problems, but the times I've been, I've had a great time. Love the food there. I go to the same restaurant every time. It's great. Um, what, you have a problem?
No, I just think it's funny when you go to New York, like more than I ever have in very bad. And you go to the same restaurant every time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Call, you call me picky. It's pretty
No,
funny.
I've gone to. Well, okay, it's not picky. It's just that they're really good. So why change up when you go? I don't go often, so like the restaurant is only in New York, so like I'm gonna go there. And if I don't go there often, so but it was a fun trip. The reason we decided to go was because of Fanatics Fest. Now, Fanatics Fest is basically like a sports convention. They have a lot of different athletes come. They had Tom Brady, Mike Tyson. They had Jake Paul. They had Ray Lewis. But most importantly, they had the greatest kickboxer to ever go into the UFC, Alex Poatan Pereira. He was there Friday. And I was like, well, I mean, we got to try to go. We just have to try. You know, it wasn't something that you paid to get in, but for his photograph in particular, you just had to wait in line, and if you missed your opportunity, you missed it. So we had to get there early, and I got to meet him, and I shook his hand twice, not once but twice, and
Wow.
it was. I don't think I've ever been that happy. I think that's one of the most recent times I felt genuine happiness.
I can
And
just imagine you standing there like fangirling, like, oh.
I don't think I've ever been starstruck before in my life. Like, even meeting Steve-O, I was, like, less starstruck. But Steve-O, man, he was cool, too.
To New York twice in our entire friendship and somehow meets two celebrities. I don't understand.
I actually met 3 because I also met Eli Manning as well.
Who?
The Eli Manning. You don't know who that is? Okay, well, that's why I didn't mention him to you, because I didn't think you'd know who that is.
Well, I don't care either.
Right. Yeah, I know you don't care. You're not a huge sports fan, but it's okay. I think they had some baseball players there. I don't know who they were, but
or Yankees.
Yeah, Babe Ruth wasn't there, so I was like, who gives a fuck?
I don't think he would be there, AJ. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah,
if he was, I'd be a little bit concerned.
Well, they could have set up a Ouija board and tried to contact him through that, but I don't think.
There you go. Now we've disgraced a baseball legend, so that's off the checklist here.
Yeah, well, I think Cal Ripken might have been there. I'm not sure.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But the hotel room we were staying at was nice, but the bathroom it was so like it was very small, and like there was no actual door separating the bathroom from the rest of the room. It was just a sliding glass thing. So basically, if you went in there to take a shit, the other person could hear every grunt you were doing, everything you were
Oh
doing.
god,
There was no privacy, and I was
that's
like, yeah, I don't.
horrible.
This ain't it, Chief. But um, overall, great trip. There was a slightly creepy thing that happened um, in the hotel room. So I was laying there. I was trying to go to bed. This was Friday night. I wanted to get up early, and so the bathroom was on like this side, and the door was on this side. And all of a sudden, I hear like when you sometimes when you try to open a hotel room door, you hit like the key thing in, it doesn't open, you jiggle the door handle, and it that sounds pretty universal. So I was sitting there and I heard
Yeah.
that sound, and I was like, "That's a little odd." And I was like, "Is someone trying to get into our room?" And I heard it again, but it was coming from the side of the bathroom, and like there were no doors. Like there were two rooms beside us, and there was none on like the other side because there was you could see like the outside through the window.
Yeah.
So there was no like hallway doors leading to another room that would be near the bathroom. So and I didn't, and it was specifically coming from that side of the room. So I kept listening, and I heard it like on and off, like just sounded like someone was trying to get into a locked room. And
Huh.
I was thinking maybe it could have been like one of the neighbors, and maybe the sound was just being odd. But I don't think the sound would have gone from like here to all the way over here into that side of the room. And I thought maybe I was just dreaming it or something, but my father heard it too. And he apparently has heard a lot of stories of people getting into like hotel rooms in the weirdest ways, especially in New York hotels where they might have been other types of buildings before they converted them into hotels. So he was worried someone was trying to get into the room. So it kept him from sleeping because he was expecting to see someone crawl out of the bathroom and try to attack us. But he,
Oh, geez.
but I didn't really care that much. All I was focused on was getting up early, so I forced myself to go to sleep. But he was up all night worrying about it. He actually went into the bathroom and was trying to like shimmy the shelf off the wall to see if someone was trying to get into that through that way. But
Wow.
he heard it
Yeah,
like. Sorry,
I've
go
heard a
ahead.
lot of horror stories of like hotels and like how there's like secret pathways in them
Yeah.
and people can get into rooms super easily. And there's one clip that I saw. I think it was pretty popular. I don't remember what hotel or like where it was, but it was like a bathroom and it had those like frosted glass windows that
Mm,
you can't see out of. It's
yeah.
just a fake window basically. Well, the bathroom had like a huge wall that was that window, and the guy like goes behind this like thing, and suddenly he's behind that frosted window,
Oh,
which granted you can't see through those windows very well, but it's very scary that that room was there.
yeah.
Now it could have been like just an old space that like they literally couldn't put anything in, and it's just negative space that no one's using anymore.
Mm,
That very well could be the case, but the thought of someone walking through that space is very unsettling to me.
mm.
And so I don't think I'd ever travel to a hotel that isn't like the Hamptons or something,
Yeah.
because
It was.
the,
It was.
the cheap ones are a little creepy.
Yeah. No, if it's not the people that creep you out, it's the possibility of bed bugs that will scare you.
Uh,
Um.
uh, that's just. There was one night that I swear to God I was going crazy. I saw like a little black fuzz on my bed, and I was like, no, because we were at my grandparents or something like the day before or whatever, and my uncle was talking about how they had bug beds or bug
Bed
bed
bugs.
bugs.
Yeah.
Jeez. And like hearing that, I was like grossed out, but whatever. And then I'm home and I go to bed, and then I see this little black speck on my bed, and I'm like, no, that cannot be it. And like I had to grab my phone. I like looked at it for like 5 minutes before I picked it up, and I realized it was just like a fuzz from something. Dude, I was freaking
I would have
out.
slept on the floor. I mean, there was no chance I would have done that.
Well, I would do that, but there are crickets that occasionally come through on
Oh,
the floors now.
jeez. All right, I just wouldn't have
Okay,
slept.
it's not like I'm living in a dumpster. It's just bugs get in the house, like a cricket or whatever. Like that's no big deal. A beetle, it happens all the time. They come up through the pipes somehow. They're like Mario, and they just come through. Like it happens. It's gross, and I don't like it, but it happens. That's what you get for being a basement dweller
Yeah,
in Saudi Arabia.
yeah. Like honestly,
Yep.
like there's crickets in my basement too, and they're like the camel crickets, and those
Yeah.
will jump at you. Like the other ones, they'll just chirp a little bit and then jump away. But camel crickets will jump at your ass, and they'll try to square up with you, and that's what I don't like. We have those in my basement, and I don't care for the fellas. I gotta say, I just don't.
Well, so I keep the pickle jar on my desk.
Nice.
Well, it holds my keys, but I just quickly drop it
Hold
and
your
get the
what?
bucket. Keys.
Why do you keep your keys in a jar?
Where else do you put
Jesus
them?
Christ! How much stuff do you have on your keychain, my guy?
Well, I don't want to show my keys so someone can't like copy them.
And that's
But
not
yeah,
how it works.
yeah, there's I got Dr. Facilier. I don't know how to pronounce his name. The voodoo doctor from Princess and the Frog, my favorite Disney villain. Bottle cap opener. Several name tags. I don't know if any of them said my last name. No. Universal Studios, Simpsons thing. Little Ewok from Star Wars. Yeah.
That's nice. That's swell. I still think it's kind of stupid you covered up your key because that's not how copying key works, but it's okay.
I beg to differ.
Okay, whatever.
I remember somewhere someone saying like how stupid it was that someone showed their house keys the second they bought a house. Like you can technically copy that. I mean, it'd be a pain, but if
It'd be
someone wanted
really
to get in the way,
difficult. I mean, I guess technically you could, but I still think
but no one would be able to find my house unless they did. And well,
I still don't
oh
even
well.
know how that would work because with keys, like with how like locks work, you need an exact copy, and I don't know if you would be able to get that from just holding it up to the screen. Now, I don't know for sure.
You'd be surprised how easy it is to get into locks. And you
Oh,
don't
well,
even
I
need
do
keys
know how
half
to
the time.
pick locks though. But like, if you can pick a lock,
Um,
why bother copying a key? I feel like it'd be
yeah,
easier to just learn how to pick them.
but yeah, I've learned locks don't keep anyone out.
No.
They're just kind of decorational at this point. The only thing that will protect you is a loaded shotgun.
Boy, or pepper spray. Nice crowbar. How come that works for
Yeah.
you?
I mean, a baseball bat is the classic choice, but there's only one thing that scares everyone, and that's cocking a shotgun.
That's true.
Just that sound would, everyone's gonna go running.
That's true. But yeah, anyway, but like that whole hotel situation was a bit jarring, but I got over it quickly the next day because I went to Fanatics Fest and it didn't stay there again. Could it have been someone trying to break in? I don't know. I don't care. They didn't hurt me, so who really cares? But my father has stayed in hotel rooms before where he claims he swore someone was in the room with him, but yet again, him and his friends were both drinking heavily. So, because they were on a road trip. So I don't think that's the case. And I'm going to put it out there. Neither me or my father were drinking the night of this occurrence. I'm just putting that out there. So, I don't know what was going on with that. But, oh well.
My dad had some adventures himself in New York when he was in high school. He's got a lot of stories. If I got my dad on here, he'd talk the whole time. But, one time he was in New York, he had a foreign exchange student, I think from France, and they lost him in New York. Like they were walking through like Central Park, I think, and they lost him. And then the police found him like hours later, and thankfully they did find him because I don't think he spoke very good with English, and apparently neither do I. But yeah, that was just pretty funny when he told me that.
Yeah, New York's a interesting place, man. Like. You walk down
the people there.
dude, I like the first time my father took me on like a tour of like some of the areas not the areas he grew up in, because I don't want to. If we went there, we'd get shot. Um, but he took me like on like these walks where throughout like the city, and on the walk I saw um a guy trying to fight like a street lamp. I saw some people skateboarding. I saw some woman spazzing out and some guy trying to call the police to get her away from him. I saw people smoking weed, street performer. It was just so interesting, and it's like, damn, it's crazy. But
I think there's the regular on the subway. He's a naked cowboy with a guitar. He's just constantly playing guitar or something in the streets of New York.
that's the two places I've never been to so far in New York, and that is a subway station, and that is uh
Statue of Liberty.
no, Central Park. Yeah, Central Park. I've never been there.
Man, I'm surprised I haven't been to either of those. That's like the first thing I would go to would be the Central Park.
Yeah, I think we should go, dude. Guys trip.
Yeah, sure.
After
good
in
luck
like
talking to
5
your
years, when we
girlfriend
have
about
enough saved up for it, I think we should go.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, is there any haunted? Sorry, go ahead.
It's New York. There's bound to be haunted places.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole city's probably
We can just
haunted.
go to the Bronx.
That's where Ghostbusters was based in. It was in New York.
That is true. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, man, I haven't seen Ghostbusters in a while. I should rewatch. There's so many movies that I've heard of again since we've been talking about more movies recently, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta rewatch that. I gotta rewatch that as well. Like, but, did you watch the new Ghostbusters? What are you doing?
Not the latest one. I did watch. I think it was called Aftermath with Paul Rudd. I thought that was pretty good. I liked it.
Every time you touch your phone screen, it feels like you're touching the camera, and it freaks me out.
I didn't touch my phone.
It looked like you were doing this. I'm like, okay. But
I was just moving around on my desk.
it looks like you're touching me, and I don't like it.
This is a very weird thing to say. Moving on. Top 5. What's today's top 5?
Let's go. All right, so for this installment of Top 5 Things with AJ and Colin, we are going to do top 5 albums. Now, we are both, I wouldn't consider us music, well, I guess we are kind of music nerds, but we're trying to get more into listening to albums, like, instead of just going by, like, oh, the popular songs. At least I'm trying to listen to more albums so I can listen to more songs by different artists that I may have not heard of. Is that the same for you, Colin?
No, I'm pretty picky with my music. I kind of stick to what I like. There's occasionally I'll branch out, and more I've been listening to your recommendations that you've given me, and I gotta say, like, you hit pretty well on the recommendations. There's only been like a few songs that I didn't really like, or like just didn't pique my interest, but the majority of the time I did really like that.
Yeah, it seems like you might not be a huge fan of the Kinks, though, because from the songs I've recommended. Is that true?
I mean, you only recommended 2 songs. I mean, I only know 2 other Kinks songs, but they're pretty good. But I don't know.
It surprised me though that you didn't like those 2. But like you said, or like I said, and then you said, different strokes for different folks. So we're gonna. I don't care. Remember. Okay, so I did order my list. So we're gonna start off with 5 and move to 1 because that just is how we're gonna do it.
I've given up on ordering them. They're not in any like. Number 1 isn't the best. It's just whatever I could think of, honestly. This one was kind of tough for me.
All right.
I didn't want to. Well, real quick, I did want to express that we talk about Billy Joel all the time. He's the GOAT of music, and honestly, just overall, he's the GOAT. But so I was talking with AJ that I think adding anything Billy Joel into our top 5s, unless we do like another top 5 songs or whatever of strictly Billy Joel, I think we should try and keep him out of everything because he would just be the top 5 every time. Greatest albums, easily his. Greatest vocals, Billy Joel, no competition. But so we want to keep him separate from everyone else just because he's that good and we love him too much.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. And it's funny, you saved me a lot of heartache and strife last night, because I was like, going through it, trying to decide if I wanted my number 1 to be Glass Houses, 52nd Street, or Cold Spring Harbor. And I just could not decide. they're completely different albums, but also great. And it's like, what mood are you going to be in that day to listen to one of them?
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, I don't know, but that's why there will be no Billy Joel in our list. So if you're out there and if you were wondering that, that's why. So don't ever question our our integrity as a Billy Joel fan.
We love Billy Joel, and we will forever love him. Greatest music.
Yeah.
But if something comes out that is very controversial of him, then I retract that statement. But for now, he's the greatest, and hopefully that'll stay that way.
Yeah. All right. So
you
want to start us off, Colin? How about you start us off? Number 5.
Sure. Like I said, these aren't really in any specific order. I just literally, honestly, I couldn't really think of any, so I should have just kept with Billy Joel on here because I couldn't think of anything else. But
that would have been pretty funny if you would have just said that whole speech and your whole list is Billy Joel albums.
Yeah, but my number 5, a classic, Let It Be from the Beatles. You know, this album, I think I know the most songs on it, obviously, Let It Be. I just realized I don't remember any of the other songs on there, but I know them. But this one is one of my favorites. And I do have the album itself somewhere. That's not it. Excuse me one moment.
Is that a Yoda shirt you have in the background?
Ignore
that. Okay.
But here we go. We have the album. This is my grandfather's that he let me have. So Let It Be, Get Back. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, I'm realizing I don't know that many songs of the Beatles, but this was kind of like a last-ditch option. I couldn't think of anything for my number 5, so yeah.
Actually, hold on. I'm going to look up Abbey Road because I feel like I know.
That one's got something. I don't remember.
Okay, I don't know. Yeah, they have a lot of songs that I don't know. Okay. So
I'm not very well versed in the Beatles, and my apologies for those Beatle fans out there.
I thought I was well versed, but it doesn't seem like I am. So, all right.
All right, you're number 5.
Number 5 for me. Now, this guy might be a pedophile. He might be not a great person. I don't know. Still up in the air. But boy, could he make some music. And my number 5 is Thriller by Michael Jackson. I mean, it's an exceptional album. Just can't speak. But nice! Let's fucking go. Nice. I mean, there isn't really anything to say, but it's just a masterpiece. I mean, it's amazing. Michael Jackson, he just could make amazing songs. I don't think I've ever heard a song of his that I didn't like. And that's not something I can say about every single musician. I grew up listening to him. I remember when I was I know, it might be a little scary. I was a fan of him when I was in pre-K. I did the Thriller dance for my entire pre-K class because I was such a big fan. But yeah, that's my number 5. I mean, it's just phenomenal. What's your number 4?
What would you say? What's your favorite song from that album?
Billie Jean.
Oh, good one. Yeah, it's either Beat It or Thriller for me. Thriller is like a childhood nostalgia classic. Like, my mom loved that song, and it's just such a good song.
A lot of the ways I picked these albums was by, like, obviously if I like the songs on it, but, like, if my favorite song's on there, I'd be more willing to pick it. Even if some of the other songs are only okay, I'd be more likely to pick it. So I was trying to decide between Thriller and Bad. Because Bad has Man in the Mirror on it, and that's, in my opinion, one of his greatest songs. But I had to go with Thriller because I think overall it's probably slightly better, and it's more classic, but that's just my opinion.
It's a good pick either way. All right.
Number 4 for you. How about it?
I got Out of the Blue by Electric Light Orchestra. This one, you've got Mr. Blue Sky, which is probably their most popular song. And then you see, I'm very bad with albums. I think the only artist I think I'm even remotely good with is Billy Joel. But Out of the Blue, I believe, I don't remember what that had. Let me check here.
It also has iconic cover art too, which is nice.
Oh yeah, the ELO, they have some of the best cover art I think I've ever seen out of like most artists, which is really nice. I love it's like a jukebox UFO type look, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But other songs they got on there, "Will Turn to Stone," and I can't find any others. I'm very bad with music. I'm trying to get better, but it's whatever. But yeah, "Out of the Blue" by Electric Light Orchestra. That's definitely a good one.
Yeah, great pick. ELOs, or do I call them ELO or Electric Light Orchestra? Which one?
Either one. I just say Electric Light Orchestra just so people know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Um, but I think that's one of the bands that you've talked about a lot, and that I would also like to get into because I like Mr. Blue Sky. There's another song of theirs. I can't remember the name, but I do know I like another one. But
Mm.
um,
Yeah, they kind of came out like around like the disco era, and
yeah,
then a lot of their songs take inspiration from the Beatles, so that's why their music's so good. But you got other songs like "Telephone Line," that one I really like. Um, and then what's another one? "Last Train to London" is like
yeah.
it's almost Bee Gees level disco, which is very nice.
That's something I didn't include on my list as any Bee Gees albums.
Yeah, as much as I love their stuff, a lot of it's like separated from their albums, so I don't know. There's not really one that I could pick, but then again, I picked "Let It Be" from the Beatles, and I only know one song on that one.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
anyway,
yeah. Anyway, number 4 for me is Cosmos Factory by CCR. I'm a big CCR fan. They don't have many albums. They were fairly a short-lived band, honestly. But while they were a band, they did many good things for music. This is just a great album. It has, I can't. I know it has "Looking Out My Back Door" on it, but I gotta look up some of the other ones. I think it has "Up Around the Bend."
oh, that's a good one.
I love CCR. They're one of my favorite, like southern. I think they're southern rock. Um,
Yeah.
Traveling Band, Ooby Dooby, Run Through the Jungle, Long as I Can See the Light, Cool Stop. Yeah, great fucking album. I mean, this has some of my favorite songs on it. If you want to listen, if like anyone out there wants to listen to more southern rock, I recommend CCR, the Allman Brothers, and Marshall Tucker Band. Those are, in my opinion, the greatest southern rock bands to ever do it. Um, Marshall Tucker Band, I was gonna include them, but a lot of their albums, like I don't know a lot of the songs. I know like a mixture of the albums, not really like a set amount from the actual track lists. So I didn't include them, but they're still great. But yeah, it's my number 4. How about for number 3, Colin?
Number 3 is from Leonard Skinner.
Mm,
Another kind of southern rock type band, I'd
yeah,
say. Very similar. But their album pronounced Leonard Skinner. I don't know how to actually pronounce if it's just Leonard Skinner on their album, but that's the name of it. And this one, obviously the most popular, I think, "Free Bird." Everybody loves that song. It's a good song, I think, and it's kind of like their Bohemian Rhapsody from Queen. You've got like there's soft, slow parts, and then you got the upbeat guitar that like the whole song just is killer the whole way through,
yeah,
in my opinion. And then other songs, I see I'm really bad with music. I had all this like memorized earlier, and I completely forgot what they have. But um, I don't think "Sweet Home Alabama" is on this
no,
track.
that's on. I think that's on. Oh,
So you got "Give Me Three Steps," "Simple Man." What's any other good one on that album? But yeah, really good songs and great band, I think.
Sweet
Um,
Home Alabama. Oh, not to interrupt, but Sweet Home Alabama is from their Second Helping album.
Thank you. Yeah,
But
we say we're music nerds, but yet we don't remember any of this.
I almost said Second Helping because I remember the cover art is very particular for that album, and I
Yeah.
thought it always says Second Helping, but I couldn't remember if it was for that band or another band. But I don't. You know. Leonard Skinner is definitely southern rock, but I like them. They're not my favorite. I only like a couple of their songs: "Freebird," "They Call Me the Breeze," um, "Needle." Is it "Needle in the Spoon"?
Yeah, Needle
Okay.
and the Spoon.
Yeah, I like those 3, but they're not my favorite. But I don't think they're bad.
Oh yeah.
That's just my opinion.
So I gotta say, Second Helping probably is like the other one that's really good.
What was that again?
That's also Second Helping.
Second, yeah.
These, that's also got the Ballad of Curtis Lowe. I think that song is really nice. Like, it's kind of sad, but it's a good song. I think.
Oh, there is another song by them that I like. It's very slow paced. It's called Four Walls of Rayford. Have you heard that one?
I'm not. I'll definitely check it
Yeah,
out.
it's very slow paced, but if you're in the right mood for it, I think you'll like it. Number three, when it came to my these next three, it was hard to order them because they're all phenomenal. Number three is 10 by Pearl Jam. Now, this album I grew up listening, and I actually thought it was a greatest hits CD because I was like, my mom was like, listen to Pearl Jam, and all the songs are so good that I was assuming it was like a greatest hits. But it was I discovered it was their actual album 10, and that's how good it was. Is like it just every song is amazing. I mean, Jeremy, that's like probably one of my favorite songs. Has Even Flow on it. It has
Even Flow, I love that one.
Black. It has let me look it up. But yeah, it's just in my opinion, it's Pearl Jam's best albums. It's just amazing. Gotta look up the track list.
Yeah, I'm only familiar with Even Flow because it was like a Skate 3 meme or something. But after I heard it, I really got into it. It's such a good song.
Yeah, it has Ocean on it, or Oceans on it. But it's just an amazing album. I love it. Love Pearl Jam. They're great. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of grunge. I don't dislike it. I don't really dislike like there's music genres that I don't really love, but I wouldn't say any of them I think are horrible. Country, a lot of country is not good in my opinion. But that's just me, of course. I prefer Southern rock, but yeah, Pearl Jam's my favorite grunge band. Yeah, number two, Colin. What's your number two pick?
Since you brought up grunge, I guess I'll go with my other pick that I had. Nevermind album by, it just escaped me, Nirvana. Jeez. Nirvana. Another great grunge band, and I love this album. Don't quite love the cover art. It's the one with the naked baby we were talking about that yesterday. So, like, I've always thought that was very strange, but I understand the reasoning behind it. It's like supposed to show like corporate capitalism, I believe. I don't know. I Googled it yesterday to sound smart. But I'm pretty sure the kid was like trying to sue them and like, I don't think it got anywhere, but it's really weird situation, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know how to handle it, but other than that, the album itself is great songs. You know, I think it has like some of their most popular. Teen Spirit, I believe, is on there. Something in the Way. Polly, I love that one. It's a little bit dark if you listen to the lyrics, but the tone of it I like.
You know. All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, but like I've recently been getting into Nirvana, and like I like the grunge music. I guess I'm getting into that kind of phase, like emo grunge type music. Say that as I'm wearing a tie-dye hoodie. But what are you gonna do?
But yeah, Pearl Jam is one of those bands, and I've talked about this with Colin, so he's heard it all before, and I might have talked about it on this show or podcast, whatever. But I've tried to listen to Nirvana, and the songs I've listened to, I enjoy, but like I don't understand why they're regarded as great as they are. Like I think they're good, and I enjoy listening to them, but they're not something I would say I would listen to all the time, or that like I would listen to as much as Billy Joel. Like
I think it's because they were one of the first to like revolutionize the genre. I could be very wrong, but
no, you're probably right because they were like the first to do it. So I guess that's why they are considered the greatest. And that, I mean, obviously, I take nothing away from them as musicians.
Yeah.
But they're just not my favorite band to listen to, especially grunge. But that's just me.
Yeah.
You know?
I think the era that they came out in really was like the beginning of, well, like I said, they were one of the first to do grunge, but like it was a time where I guess like people were angry, you know,
Yeah.
and like wanted something to just like be angry with. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm speaking out of my head here,
Yeah.
but great band, great album,
Mhm.
great songs. I
Of
thought.
course. Number two for me is "Sticky Fingers" by the Rolling Stones. Now, I couldn't have a top five albums list without Rolling Stones on here. One of my favorite bands. I love this album is just amazing. It has Dead Flowers on it. I think it has "Can You Hear Me Knocking." Um, it just hold on. It has my favorite song, "Moonlight Mile" on it. That's just, in my opinion, their greatest song. Sister Morphine, uh, Brown Sugar, that's controversial, so I'm not going to say whether I like that or not, but it's catchy. So it has Sway. I mean, it's just an amazing album. In my opinion, it's what I don't know if it's like the best Rolling Stones album, but it's definitely my favorite. Um, I mean, I just love it. It's amazing. Rolling Stones, one of the greatest bands to ever do it. Legends. They're still performing today, and I think that's remarkable because they're most like
Oh
80.
yeah, that's insane. That they
Yeah.
still think that.
Um, but yeah, that's my number two. How about you, Colin? What's your number two? Oh wait, never mind. You never.
Yeah,
My
I
bad.
did
Number one.
kind of missing here. I might be stealing your thunder here because this was my number two, but then I just switched them around. Like I said, weren't in order, but this is from Led Zeppelin number four album. Um, I can't remember what was on this one, but this
Going to
was
California.
oh yeah,
Battle of
going to
Evermore.
California. That one was a recent one.
I
I
think
found
it
that I really
has.
liked.
What's that? Uh, Immigrant Song, I believe.
I think that's a different one.
I think. Hold
Uh,
on, I'll check.
unless that was, I don't know. I go based off of what I have on Apple Music, and like sometimes it uses their essential or not their essential, their like uh I guess essential albums, yeah. They're like greatest hits albums as like the cover art for the songs, so sometimes I can't tell. But um I'm pretty sure this one was the one it has the man carrying like the logs on his back. There's something about it
Yeah, it
that
is.
like is really cool to me.
No, the Immigrant Song. I could have sworn the Immigrant Song was on here, but I guess it's not. Um, Maybe that was Zeppelin 2. But anyway, that's
It's
a great
well,
album too. It has rock and roll. It has one of my favorite. Oh, Black Dog. Yeah, it's Misty Mountain. All right, that's a. I was thinking of Stairway to Heaven. It has that one.
yeah, it was,
I gotta check what Immigrant Song is.
I believe it's the one with like the white background and then like all the other images on that.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin 3. That's
But
interesting.
anyway,
That's interesting because Led Zeppelin 3 has a very acoustic sound to it, and that song does not really fit the rest of the theme
oh
of it.
yeah, no, it does not.
But Led Zeppelin's great. I will say, uh, number, I think number two and three are some of my favorites. They're great. I love them. I love what's it called? Bronniar Stomp on number three. That's a great song.
I don't
Um,
know that one.
yeah. Well, I've listened to all the original four, and number one on my list is "Houses of the Holy" by Led Zeppelin. In my opinion, I haven't listened to all of the Led Zeppelin albums, but this one is probably my favorite out of the ones that I have listened to. It has Dire Maker on it. It has hold on, let me look
You
it
know,
up.
it has the ocean. That one's my favorite.
Yeah.
That was going to be my pick. I couldn't remember which one you said, and I was looking at them and I realized that was the houses of the holy. And I was like, man, because that one I think I like the
Well, we
most
can
songs
have the
from.
same picks. I mean, if that starts. Oh, the
I,
Rain song. I remember us talking about like what songs we'd want at our funerals. I think I'd want the Rain song as well. Over the Hills and Far Away.
it's great.
No quarter. Yeah, I mean, Dancing Days. It's just an absolute banger of an album. And something interesting that I discovered last night that I told Colin is the song House of the Holy is not on the album Houses of the Holy.
I feel like that probably happens more than we might realize on
Yeah.
music albums. Like, I've occasionally looked at it, like, whenever my parents, like, I'm doing DJ in the car, they'll give me either the song or an album, and then I don't know which one they're talking about.
Yeah.
So it gets a little bit confusing.
Yeah. So that has been our top 5 albums by varying artists we've decided to incorporate. Now, I plan on listening to more albums. I don't think Colin will, but we'll see.
I'm very particular with my music. I don't like looking for new songs, I guess. It's like, if I hear it, then I like it, but I have a very hard time looking for new songs.
Yeah. I get that. But I might revamp mine, and maybe in the future I'll go over it again. But maybe we should do like top 5 Billy Joel albums. He only has 12, but I think that'd still be cool.
Didn't we do that already?
I don't think we did it like just personally, but I don't think we did it for the podcast.
I don't remember, but
yeah,
they're all great. So
yeah. It's hard to decide, but
oh yeah, that one's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah. So, have you picked up any new hobbies recently, Colin? I'm curious.
New hobby? No, not really. Not at all. No. I have realized that I like doing costume work. I guess like, there's a few upcoming like movie nights that I want to go to, and one of them, Top Gun, is where I got these glasses from. I have a whole like costume set, and like I just love dressing up for things. Like, I was never a fan of like going trick or treating for Halloween or whatever, but I love dressing up and like going to the Halloween party or whatever, and like dressing up it's so fun to me. And like, maybe I might get into like cosplay one day, but I feel like that takes it to a bit of an extreme that I'm not capable of. But you never know.
Yeah, I think cosplay is a fun hobby. I think a lot of cosplayers can get annoying, but I think the majority of them are pretty cool. Just not anime cosplaying, that's lame. But
look like a dork.
I've kind of revamped it. Well, not revamped it, but I've picked up another hobby that I used to do and I started doing again recently. Is crocheting. You know, I used to be a crocheter. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but I used to crochet back in the day, and I stopped for a while. And recently, because my sister wants me to make a blanket for her cat, and her cat is like a Sphinx cat, so he gets cold. And she wants me to make one for him. But I don't make things for family members anymore because I made a headband for my mom, and she never wears it, and I got personally attacked by that. I felt personally attacked. The only thing, I made my grandfather a nice hat one time, and he wears it when he gets cold. I appreciate that. But I told my sister... I said, if you want that, you got to make it for yourself because I'm not doing it for you. So she's learning how to crochet, and so I'm like, well, I'll start doing it again as well. And it's cool. Maybe we'll make like a neat little crochet club. You never know.
I was going to say, that sounds more like indentured servitude if you're making it for someone as to just doing it because you want to do it.
Yeah. So, I don't know. My mom still wants me to make the cats like sombreros. Why she's hell-bent on making sombreros for the cat, I don't know. But anytime crochet is brought up, she's like, oh yeah, you should make the cat a sombrero. I'm like, alright, Mom. I don't know what your deal is with sombreros. But, I don't know, it's a fun hobby. It's relaxing, but like, you also, so like, you can get good at like the actual act of crocheting, but you also have to realize the tension you hold the string with, or the yarn with, is very important. Because as you go, you might tighten it or you might loosen it, and that makes your crochet lopsided. And that's really annoying. So you have to really be mindful of how the strength you hold the yarn with. Because if you hold it too hard to start and then loosen it, loosen your grip as you go. I know, very funny. It will be lopsided and it won't be fun.
Yeah, you really don't want your needle lopsided.
No, I know. You can't have it lopsided. But Also, knitting is lame. Crocheting is cool. Sorry, guys, technical difficulties. Colin's camera just glitched, and it was very annoying. It was all his fault.
Blame it on me.
It was his fault. So, yeah, we were just talking about crocheting, and I don't like knitting. People who knit are very lame. People who crochet are very cool. Just putting that out there.
There's another group of people that I really hate. The people who nag.
Okay, I am not. You're not tricking me into saying that. But nagging is not nice as well. It's very annoying.
Ninja almost get canceled for saying that on a stream.
So anyway, I think that about wraps up today's episode. We've been at it for about an hour.
We got like 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes. I can't believe it though. We've almost went through this entire episode without arguing too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look ugly today.
Yeah, well, those glasses look stupid on your face, so fuck off.
You said I looked cool earlier, so I don't
remember saying that. Well, you did look cool, but then I remembered it's you I'm talking to, and you're not cool, so I was like, okay, that's the issue.
Okay, I think we fit our argument quota today.
Yeah. So is there anything you want to wrap up this episode with?
Mm-hmm. All I have to say is I think 9/11 was an inside job, and the Kennedys are coming back. Stay tuned.
Okay. Nice to know. Anything you want to say about Watergate while we're at it? Richard Nixon?
He was completely innocent.
What about O.J. Simpson? Great running
That's
back.
Debatable. Really,
That's what, I can't remember if I told this story on here, but I was like hanging out with my dad and his friends, and they started talking about O.J. Simpson.
I can already know this is going in a very wrong direction.
Yeah,
Let's hear
they started talking about O.J. Simpson, and one of my dad's friends' wives was like, he's a piece of shit who murdered people, and the guy was like, but he could run a football. And I was like, that is such a dude thing to say.
100%.
But, like, the way I look at it is, regardless of whether he killed Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman, regardless of whether he killed them, I think he did, but he was still a piece of shit. He beat his wife, and I don't condone that under any circumstance.
He also killed his wife, AJ.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, like, even if he didn't kill her, he still beat her, and that's...
It's one thing to beat someone, it's a whole nother to stab them.
Yeah, but I think he did it. Will we ever know for sure? No, probably not, but he's a piece of shit. And, well, he was a piece of shit. He's dead now. Sorry, I was. My bad. Yeah, anything else you want to say?
Speaking of Watergate, I love Watergate salad. It's so good.
What'd you say?
I don't really know Watergate salad. It's like this pistachio mush. I don't really know what it is, but it's good.
What do you think? Ooh, sorry, not to cut you off, but you said pistachio. Do you like pistachio ice cream?
Totally. I've never had it. I like pistachios though, just on their own.
Yeah, it's good. I think you should try it. How about top 5 ice creams? That'd be cool.
I don't
know if I know enough flavors.
I was gonna say I'm pretty basic. It's like chocolate, vanilla, and cookies and cream. I guess I can kind of do a top 5, but it's literally just the 5 that I eat.
Yeah.
I held up 4 there. I can't count apparently.
I really like rum raisin ice cream as well. That's really good.
Oh, yeah, I remember you like that. I tried eggnog a while back, and it was good for like 10 minutes, and then I realized how awful it was.
Did you say eggnog?
Yeah, eggnog ice cream.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought you meant like the drink eggnog.
Oh, no. The drink is good, but the ice cream, like, it's like milk on milk, and there's something about it that just doesn't taste right to me.
I mean, you can't beat classic vanilla ice cream. That's just, it's an amazing flavor. I mean, it's so versatile, too. Oh, I had a milkshake this week, this vanilla milkshake, and instead of using regular milk, I used coconut milk. And it was good. I recommend that, like, highly.
Interesting.
Coconut milk.
I'll have to remember that when I'm stranded on an island.
Yeah.
That's a lot of topics reference for you. Anyway,
what's another thing?
You think you could survive a plane crash, AJ?
Fuck no. Well, Do I have
Now,
someone else with me?
uh, sure.
Okay, so like, okay, I will choose you as a sidekick. I think we would work well
Really?
together. So, well, not for like, yeah, I think we would be able to work
I
well
think,
together
yeah.
as
I
long
feel
as we
like
didn't argue over stupid shit.
yeah, as long as we didn't disagree with something, I think we should just make me the leader.
No,
As
I'd
long as
be
we
the
didn't
leader.
disagree with anything, yep, this is exactly why we'd kill each other. Um, but no, I think we could maybe survive. Like, I'd give us 5 to 7 days. We could survive.
I think we're both not highly intelligent, but we're both resourceful. And if we could get past the initial panic, I think we'd survive.
Oh yeah, as long as we haven't sustained any like major injuries, then we could do it. Like if one of us lost a leg, they're dying. That's just plain and simple. They're dying.
Yeah.
Um, I couldn't do it. Well, if I had a broken leg, I couldn't walk out into the ocean. But I'd slowly crawl my way into the ocean until I drown myself.
Would you be?
Um,
The thought of you walking into the ocean with a broken leg, drowning yourself, is very funny. Would you be able to do what he did in the movie and remove his own tooth?
oh God, that scene is so. Oh, I hate that.
God.
No, I don't. I don't think I could do that. I would. Oh.
I think I could. Well, actually, never mind. I don't think. Well,
Actually, instead of crawling out into the ocean, I try and like climb up a palm tree and like fall head first and hopefully break my neck.
he tried to do
Um,
that. Didn't he say? No, he tried to hang himself, but he like before he did it, he tested it with weight, and the branch snapped. So he basically was like the point was he was powerless, and if he would have tried to hang himself, he would have just fallen and laid there crippled and probably not fully dead. So
oh, yeah, but like that's the thing. I just like jump head first onto a rock and hopefully die.
jeez.
Um,
So why are your methods of killing yourself so brutal? Like I could just
what
kill
else,
you.
AJ? If you're in, well, there's that. But you would enjoy it. You would wait.
Yeah.
You would like you would strangle me, but like not in a sexual way. You would like do it where like I slowly die.
Yeah.
You wouldn't just give me the satisfaction of killing me right away.
Well, your
So
satisfaction is drowning yourself and jumping headfirst onto a rock.
well, the second one, that's more effective, I think, because hopefully that should kill me. Like, and this is all just in case like I have a broken leg. I don't want to die.
Or we could cut your leg off.
That would be significantly worse.
Yeah, but we could try to cauterize it with fire.
No,
We could try. I think we should try.
I don't want to become Darth Vader. Thank you very much. But yeah.
Yeah,
Honestly, that would be cool if we went like really, really deep into a forest and tried camping there for like a week. See how well we do.
I do want to go camping. I was reading this horror story. It's called Stolen Tongues. What'd you say?
I said that's great. You go. I don't really want to go camping. I've read a horror story. That makes me really confident, AJ.
I've been reading this horror story, Stolen Tongues, and it's like based in like a cabin, and I think Colorado.
It's not camping.
No. I know it's not camping, but like it's in a wooded area, and like hearing that aesthetic has made me want to go camping. But I don't know. Is there any camping sites in Saudi Arabia where we are?
We are.
Well, I'm in Saudi. Where are you?
Oh, that's a good question. I think I'm in the Canadian Alps.
Okay.
That's not a thing. I don't think. But yeah, I'm in Canada today.
You're in Canada? How's that?
Canada.
Canada.
You're a moron.
Anyway, how's Canada doing?
It's cold. There's meese everywhere, and it's cold.
Meese?
The like the multiple of moose.
Is that actually what they're called, meese?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say I couldn't tell if you were fucking with me or not.
You moron.
I don't know, dude. I learned a new word the other day. It's ekphrastic or ekphrastic, and I'm like, I've never heard that word before. So
You were in New York?
Huh?
Did the druggie tell you that word
Hold
in
on.
New York?
No, I can look it up. It's actually a word. Hold
I'm not sure it is. AJ, there is no tooth fairy. There is no
on.
Santa
Ekphrastic.
Claus. There is no.
Ekphrastic. Ekphrastic poetry has come to be defined as poems written about works of art. So basically, seeing a painting and writing a poem about it.
Painting. Seeing a painting.
I don't know why I said it like that, but you get the idea.
Hmm.
Anyway, I think we've come up on our time limit for the podcast. This has been a
Yes,
pretty
we have
fun.
come.
This has been a pretty fun episode, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, we did pretty good.
Yeah, next week we don't have any concrete plans, but I made these plans this morning, and I say it turned out pretty well, so I'm not too worried about it. Episode 10. 10 hours we've been doing this, pretty much. So that's insane.
Big Ken.
All right, I have been
Okay.
AJ. This has been... Okay, if you have any recommendations for top fives or anything else you want us to talk about, and if you watched this all the way through for some reason, leave it in the comments, and we'll see.
Hit us up.
What'd you say?
I said hit us up.
Hit us up, yeah. DM us.
Don't do that.
Yeah, DM us. But yeah, we'll see you next time.
Or we won't.